to bite down on you right now on you. Juke to the left, they dodging it. Can't play the role, you fraudulent. Waiting on the right for the stars in it. 4x4 double parking it. Wanna play like cars in it. Wear the white flag, they forfeit it. Now I got a ring too gorgeous. Damn, I gotta treat it like forges. It sound like I wanna scratch it. Try to take the ring, I'ma tackle you. I guess I'm a Super Bowl bachelor. Go hard in the gym, no cameras. I think I see blood, no Dracula. I'm an animal, eating up amateurs. Too active, y'all can't handle it. No taxing, we'll dismantle it. Shake up the building and ramble it. Whip it, shut up the critics and analysts. Come through dripping, I'ma set it off. Game after game, you can bet it off. Quarterback got range if you block 'em off. Quarterback did an option and set it off. Duck, goose, linebacker coming through. Yeah, hit him with the spin of the Jew. Yeah, we gon' blow your block like a new. Yeah, and I spend a dime every two. We gon' lock down on the offense. Bust down the skeleton fossil. I'm not addressing the problem. Julio on the post, you can't stop him. Pick it up, running back, it's no problem. I'm running behind the block, they gon' block him. Quavo Yoda, I'm offset, you block him. Watch the blitz on the left, we gon' block him. We some animal, yeah, we some goblin.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the New York Giants. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Madden God and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the New Orleans Saints. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
In the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Throwing on first down is Breeze. And this one caught by Dez Bryant. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the two defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Shotgun now for Breeze. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A look at the numbers for Thomas from a week ago. 6 catches, 56 yards, and a touchdown.
That was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit, and this is a guy the defenses had better focus on.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he'll get across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, but they've only got it back to 3rd and 10. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
And running back Mark Ingram is coming into his own as a runner in the NFL. Over 1,000 yards each the last 2 seasons. And now he's teaming with Alvin Kamara in a backfield where both of them can run the football effectively and both of them can catch out of the backfield as well.
Now Breeze. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ron Parker. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Now the first running back drafted this year, it's Saquon Barkley. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
Now Love. Eluding the pressure right. Finding room inside the 40. Luck showing he can be dangerous when he tucks and runs. He's able to pick up the first down.
How about that scramble by Andrew Luck? Sometimes we forget just how big, strong, and yes, fast Andrew Luck is. When he came out of college at the Combine, shocked everyone, ran a sub-4 840.
And he grew up a big soccer guy over in Europe, so he knows how to use his feet.
That he do.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. The ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Big Sheldon Rankins there to bring him down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field, all they're thinking is, finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And Barkley will try to punch it in. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2. Now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
He's going to get it running right. And he takes it into the end zone for a giant TD. Saquon Barkley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are going to take a first quarter lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Rosas now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive? Or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. From the gun, it's Breeze. And Watson has it right side. And they'll get him down here at the 23. A look now at the starters for the Giants defensively. They were fantastic a week ago in the win over Houston.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
The play fake to Ingram. Now it's Breeze. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. 3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Ring that bell, Lorenzo Carter. Yeah, they took him in the 3rd round. He thought he should have gone in the 1st, and you saw exactly why. Great speed off the edge, good hand movement, can get to the quarterback, and he's very similar to an old college teammate of his, Leonard Floyd, who's with the Bears. Those types of guys, long, lanky pass rushers who create a little bit of turbulence when they get after the quarterback.
And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Corey Coleman, his first touchdown on the year. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. It's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they hit the ball and kick it right to him.
Rosas True Blue on the extra point, and the lead now stands at 13. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
It's brought in right side by Ginn. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now. Remember, his first attempt was returned for a touchdown. It'll be just an 18-yard punt, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10. Now Luck. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
A first down carry for Barkley. Able to avoid him at the 40. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And you remember pre-draft, there was a lot of speculation that the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board, but they passed on him to take this runner, Saquon Barkley.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with the football here as we begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Love. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And got his man complete. And give him a gain of 37.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Saquon Barkley with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Rosas now to kick this one away. On the return, it's Ted Ginn Jr. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Throwing now is Breeze. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Ready.
On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Pulled in at the 24. A great return there of 22 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted.
Go ahead.
On second down, here's Barkley. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 7. And now it's third down.
Well, anytime it's a toss or a pitch play, it's a battle for the edges. Who's going to control the edge of the line of scrimmage? In other words, can the defensive guys hold their leverage? What we were always taught was keep your outside arm or outside shoulder free if you were playing on the play side, meaning the ball coming towards you, and anyone coming from the backside, they're pinching down and sliding down towards it to try and keep people kind of locked into one spot. And boy, what a great defensive play there. Weren't out leverage, running to the football from the inside out, it turned into a big loss of yardage.
On 1st and 10, Locke. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The handoff to Barkley. Got some real estate inside the 30. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Yeah, he was the first back taken in the draft. Ended up going number 2 to the Giants, and there was never a doubt that he would be the first runner off the board. We just saw why. His ability with the ball in his hands to turn a nice little gain into something big. He makes plays no matter how you get him the ball.
Barkley already showing the ability to transform this Giant running game as they come up here on 1st down. On 1st down, it's Locke. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Luck now to throw. Flush to his right. His pass caught at the 4. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Odell Beckham, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Ben Watson was the intended target, the tight end. And now it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So 1:56 to play in this first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. We'll remind you once again, coming up at halftime, we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He's got stats and scores from around the NFL as we wrap up the first month of the season.
No longer is he a rookie, the coach, a true veteran now.
A crafty veteran. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally, you run to set up the pass. Here, it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Now a play fake, and it's locked. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that is caught. One-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big play there for the Giants. 48 yards.
I'm about to do a disservice to the catch we just saw. One-handed, coming down with it, just like that. Yeah, I know. Odell Beckham Jr. We're used to this, aren't we?
We are.
And that's just wrong on every level. That was spectacular.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he'll take this one down inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
And Ingram's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Evan Ingram, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants just continue to pour it on. Rosas good with the extra point. And the rout is on here in this first half. Rosas now to kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Stop right there. Ready. Move 90. 20 seconds.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. The final shot before the break. Luck. Oh, he can't hang on. That was a dream chance for any D lineman to possibly get a pick. But instead it falls down incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Pass incomplete. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone. A lot to get to here this final day of September. So let's get started. We'll start in the NFC West. Two teams that played to a 6-6 tie a few years back. Arizona hosting Seattle. And this, a 6-point differential as they've gone to halftime. The Seahawks trying to hold on and claim victory. From there, we'll take the quick hop over to Southern California to check on the Rams at home in L.A. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. 27-7, the final score. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And they were winners in their ball game over the visiting Buffalo Bills. Randall Cobb, a touchdown catch in the victory. In our game, it's Andrew Luck, back after missing all of last season with a shoulder problem, and he hasn't missed a beat. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guy.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's a give to Barkley. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach and incomplete. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
They go play action for Ingram. Now Breeze. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Kareem Martin in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally. And he's going to go down again.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
No, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he's on for the fifth time here today. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Fielded just inside the 20. Yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape. 1st and 10.
Hurry!
They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Well, those Giant fans, you know that they love seeing Saquon Barkley wearing their jersey, but it's interesting. He actually grew up a Jets fan.
Yeah, I wonder what his dad was thinking. What would Big Al was thinking on draft night? Had to be so happy for his son, but they grew up watching Jets games. Just sit together, watch it. In fact, Dad has a Jets tattoo.
Yes.
Okay, so that tells you about how much he loves that team. You think Saquon's going to fix that and make it a Giants tattoo?
Yeah, he wants to make that a Giants tattoo. That family, though, they fully converted. They're supporting the G-men.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's Locke. And Ingram holds it in. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. But nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 2nd down, here's Locke. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
3rd and long, it's Locke. Letting one go deep for the... And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back.
Holding offense.
So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? From the gun, here's Locke. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, he's got a big leg, and when everything comes together, he can certainly hit from long range, but this one's going to come up just a little bit short. A very good effort, though.
We're waiting.
They'll try to get the ground game going with Ingram. A big effort that time out of Ingram. 46 yards. And a guy that can change the game, shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. And will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On 2nd down, here's Breeze. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Benjamin Watson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. Lutz good on the extra point. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. New York set to take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, You know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial...
Back now here at MetLife Stadium. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Wrong. Here we go. Easy.
Now it's Barkley. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now he's going to send this one deep right side. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. And he fires one, but incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Check, ready.
Shotgun now for Breeze. That's caught by Meredith right side. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on 1st. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And he will score. Touchdown, Giants. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Now Breeze to try again after the pick six. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Kareem Martin getting him once again, his third sack of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the under pressure again, and down he goes again. Kareem Martin, who else? He's in there for his fourth sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Andrew Luck now, he gears up to lead this offense again. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind, it's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well. Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through three quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give them 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll try the air now with Locke. He's got a man. It's Corey Coleman. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Von Bell up to make the tackle.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And that'll make it second and goal.
Double tight, guys, double
They'll give it to him up the middle. A solid move on the run, but ultimately stopped short of the goal line. Down at the 2. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down territory.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Here's Barkley, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Rosas now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Breeze will try again on 2nd down. He dumps it down to Ingram. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Breeze on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans first. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary